talk about the 20th anniversary and what attracted you to the part of Batman in the first place?
The 20th anniversary, none of us can believe, frankly, that it's been 20 years. Yeah, we all look at each other and go, God, I can't believe we've been doing this for that long. And what attracted me to Batman is playing Batman. It's like, come on, it's Batman. So my first ever animated series, so just jumping into that role was a little crazy. And sitting next to Kevin Conroy, and then when we did Return of the Joker, between Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill was a little daunting. But when you got somebody like Andrea Romano at the wheel, it made everything a hell of a lot easier. So.
I have a question for Dan Riva. He wanted to know which records you like better. Was it Batman Beyond or Kim Possible?
Such a difficult thing. So Batman Beyond, it was usually Andrea had the entire cast in the room,
right,
which was a ton of fun. For the first season of Kim Possible, it was usually just myself and Johnny DiMaggio, which was great. But the more people that are in the room, kind of the more fun you have. So,
yeah.
Also being the first show, playing Batman, I'd have to give the edge to Batman. But it's tough. I mean, the characters are so different. It was a lot of fun to play Raw Unstoppable because he was just so crazy. But yeah, being Batman. I met my wife by telling her I was Batman and not being lying. So that's kind of awesome. So yeah, love that.
Now, Will, if I could ask, are you going to be doing any reprisal of your role as Batman? Any Batman projects coming up, sir?
Not that we know of yet, but as we've said for a while now, and Bruce Timm reiterated this at San Diego Comic-Con, that if the box set sells well, there's a chance that we will maybe do some more episodes, or at least another one, which would be great, because we feel like we're not done yet, and it's still an untapped portion of the Batman universe. So I think we'd all love to jump back into it.
So typically, I know with Kevin, you said that he played his Batman different from Bruce Wayne. You know, that kind of performance aspect.
Sure.
With Terry, I don't know if was there any. Do you feel he was a different person than when he was Batman, or did you play him differently?
I played them differently voice-wise, only because at the beginning we talked about the idea that nobody would have been scared of a 17-year-old kid's voice coming out from behind the cowl. So we wanted to gravel him up a little bit when he put on the batsuit. We didn't want to take it too deep, but they were always pulling me back, too gravelly. But we did want to make sure that there was some delineation between his younger voice and his Batman voice. But as far as character, no, because again, he is still 17, so he's trying to find himself, and most 17-year-olds probably wouldn't have the kind of self-knowledge to say, well, I really need to be this character one time with this character. And Bruce had that the whole time. Terry was a lot more fly by the seat of his pants. So I think other than the different voices, I think, no, he was pretty much always a senior in high school.
So it's not like a Spider-Man, or Peter Parker. He's kind of the shy nerd, but Spider-Man, he's like...
Right. Yeah, no, it was Terry was always very sure of himself in almost a cocky way. So then giving him a whole bunch of gadgets, I'm sure, didn't make him any less cocky. And he liked to play that. I mean, that was the thing that was cool about him, was that he was still 17. So that's, but it's so funny because people will always tweet me or something and say, like, who should play Terry in the live action movie, and they'll give me a list of actors, and it's like they're all in their late 20s. It's like, no, Terry's 17. He has to be 17. That's part of him, is that he's 17. So hopefully they will do a live action one day, and they'll pick somebody that nobody's ever heard of, some 17-year-old kid, to come in and play Terry, which would be great.
Well, I gotta ask this. Did any of the live-action Batman performances, Michael Keaton, Adam West, Val Kilmer at the time, influence you in any way?
No, the only Batman performance that's always influenced me is Kevin Conroy, because Kevin's Batman, and always will be.
Yes, sir.
So that, that sitting next to him, and again, it was, he and I have talked about this before, the relationship between Terry and Bruce was actually very similar to the relationship between Kevin and I, because he was an old veteran of voice acting. I'd never done it before, so he really took me under his wing, and I mean, from how to sit down and open up your diaphragm, and wow. I mean, it was he really mentored me quite a bit. So that he'll always be Batman, and he'll always be my mentor in that side of the industry. So I took mostly from him.
What was the audition process like for the role?
Terrifying. Again, having never done this before, I didn't know what to expect. And you're coming in, and it's Andrea Romano and Bruce Timm and Alan Burnett and Len Murakami, and they're all James Tucker. They're all staring at you through the glass, and you're just kind of. I was reading and hoping to just get the hell out of it. I was nervous. So I think by the second or third time they brought me back, I thought I had a chance. But I still didn't think it was possible. And then even today, I was just joking. It's the truth. I'm still waiting for them to recast me. So, it was the entire process. Everything about it was amazing. And still, to this day, I look back and we really can't. It's such a cliche, but we really can't believe it was 20 years ago. And just sitting with everybody again, it's very strange.
After all this time, are there any episodes that stand out as you're especially proud of it?
Yeah, there's a few actually. There's different camps in the Batman Beyond world about the fun, campy episodes. I loved Egg Baby. Some people did not. They hated it right away. I thought it was phenomenal to do an entire Batman episode based around keeping this fake egg alive the entire time. I thought it was really cool. In the call, when Terry joined the Justice League, just because I got to sit there and say Superman, which I thought was awesome. And then there were some episodes where I think it was called Out of the Past, where Terry and Bruce is aged down in the Lazarus Pit. So Terry and Bruce get to fight side by side, and it was older Bruce Wayne, meaning younger Bruce Wayne, almost Batman the Animated Series Bruce Wayne. So Kevin's voice wasn't as gravelly, and it was like I was doing an episode of Batman the Animated Series. So I thought that was really, really cool. And then different show, but when we got the script for Epilogue on Justice League Unlimited, that was crazy. And this was pre anything being emailed to you or anything. It was literally a paper script brought to your door. And finding out that Terry is Bruce's kid was pretty great. Spoiler alert, by the way.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know. But that one was amazing.
You've done. Oh.
Go ahead.
You've done other characters, like iconic characters such as Star-Lord and Bumblebee. Do you kind of have a favorite character, one you would like to bring back?
They're all, it's again, very cliche answer. They're all great for different reasons, but it's tough to beat Batman, especially when you're the only Terry. I can look myself in the mirror and say, you're the best Terry McGinnis there's ever been, which is great. But certain things from my childhood were really important to me. It was a short-run show, but one of my favorite shows ever was Thundercats that I did.
You wrote an episode.
I wrote a couple, yeah, and then was going to be writing for the next season. I'd already written the first 3, and they pulled the plug.
Hope you got paid.
Yeah, but I wrote for Bumblebee as well. So Transformers was a lot of fun, and playing Star-Lord is a lot of fun. They're all it's weird. I go back and forth because they're all great, but Bumblebee and Terry are up there, and yeah, Kim Possible. I mean, Ron Stoppable is a great character too. So they're all so much fun.
Are you the first animated Star-Lord?
No, I think they had Star-Lord in the Avengers. I think he came in for a couple episodes, but I think there was 1 or 2 before.
How did you like working with Paul Dini?
He's the worst. No, Paul's great.
I went to college with his wife.
Oh, did you? No, Paul's amazing. I mean, all the men and women that were working on the show, it was the cream of the crop. So it was knowing really nothing about animation when I went in. You realized very quickly that it was I always equate it to, you've never done a film before, well, now you're starring in a Steven Spielberg movie. It's like you are the lead you've got the best of the best around you. So, I mean, what a way to jump into that side of the business.
Since the end of the show, have you been following the comic books Batman Beyond that DC has put out?
I followed till they killed Terry. Then I threw it down and stopped, but they brought it back, so we're good. Yeah, no, a lot of my friends, like Adam Beechin and Kyle Higgins and people that I know very well actually wrote the series. So, I keep up with them, and they make sure that I'm informed of everything that's going on.
They revamped Terry a little bit midway through the show. They gave him a little more of a backstory with his time in juvie. What was your reaction on that?
That's the last question of this game.
Well, they wrote that in because of my real time in juvie in my real life.
Interesting.
No, I'm kidding.
I just wanted to see you still listening. That was such depth. I didn't know this.
No, they again, they wanted somebody who wasn't squeaky clean, and they also wanted somebody who, unlike Bruce, had a bit of a darker past, and which is saying something when you're talking about Bruce Wayne's past. He had a dark past for his own reason, but he was never a lawbreaker.